All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
MotherGoose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I'm your host, HouseDog, and with me, as always, my best friend in the whole entire world, the only person that I love, the hairiest host, the one and only MotherGoose.
Hello, everybody.
And alongside us as well is the backstabbing friend that keeps things from me for months and doesn't tell me cool things. I won't mention any names, but that stupid Minoc is still here chewing on the cables. It's Lowtech Tuck.
What up?
I like how every week you kind of switch which one of us is your favorite.
He does
Doesn't make
keep
me
us
sad
guessing.
when it's not me, sure, but at least it's fair.
He's trying to pit us against each other.
I would never do such a thing, and I'm hurt that you would say that, and that's why I love Elijah.
Just remember, Elijah, house divided can't stand. Be on my side.
No matter what happens, I'll always love you, Tucker.
I love you too.
Well, everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Animal Squadron. We're here, we're talking about Acolyte episode 2. Yes, we're still somehow doing Acolyte. The future may be bright, who knows? Or it could be very dimly lit. We'll find out as we go.
This is episode 2, like Max said, revenge/justice. General thoughts. We had a lot of feelings last week. How are we feeling now?
I feel like we're settling into the show. I still have problems.
Yeah.
But not as many problems as I had last week.
Yeah, I'm feeling significantly more positive
Yeah.
about this. I mean, I really think that it's probably true what we were talking about last episode, how it's almost like they saw their mistakes like halfway through filming the first episode and changed some stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that continued in this episode, like the better quality, I mean.
Yeah.
And so, if they stay on this track, I think Acolyte will go down in history as a pretty decent Star Wars show. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yep, but I feel
Plenty of time to
significantly
screw
more
it up.
positive. I feel way more positive after episode 2.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoyed this episode.
I was thinking about it, and I think we've kind of benefited from waiting until the show ended to watch it, rather than going week by week, because now we kind of get a better overview. It's kind of like any like really popular series that has ever like gained a lot of notoriety and stuff. I've usually always waited to watch it, like Breaking Bad. I waited like years after that was over to watch it, and now it's one of my favorite shows, and I still rewatch Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that until I was gone, because what else was I gonna do?
So like just this year?
Yeah, I just watched it this year.
That's crazy.
And everybody warned me. They were like, dude, you're gonna hate the last season. And I was like, the last season was pretty good. Like,
Yeah, I ended up liking it. And then also I think too that we have the advantage of I'd say that our love for Star Wars is radical.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call us radical fans. And I think there's
I
a
agree
lot
with
of
that,
things.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that like would be lore breaking and just absolutely astounding to some like radical fans. Whereas
Yeah.
like for us, like for instance, in the last season of Game of Thrones, like I get that there was a Starbucks coffee cup in that one scene, but like I didn't find that all that distracting. I mean, like I saw it and it was like, oh, well, that's silly, but I moved on and I
you know
I
what's
liked
so
it.
funny about that though?
Yeah.
Is so I remember whenever that happened and seeing all the posts about it and everything, and then whenever was it season 2 of Mando, whenever Jeans guy is in the background. Do y'all remember that?
Jeans. Oh yeah.
Oh, Jeans guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
remember
yeah.
Jeans guy.
And like the entire Star Wars community was like, please leave Jeans guy in. Like we love him so much. Like everybody was just like thought it was hilarious that this crew technician guy was in the background of one of the shots and like tried to make him canon within the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they wound up like re-editing the episode and you know,
Getting
you
him
don't
out,
see
yeah.
that version anymore. But I just think it's funny how different fandoms work as well. Like the Starbucks coffee cup in Game of Thrones, everybody was super upset about it and everything. But
Yeah.
you have Jeans Guy and Mando, and everybody's like, "We love Jeans Guy, never get rid of him." And there was like
He's
an
canon.
RIP post for him.
To Jeans Guy. That's funny. Yeah, but I feel like this is the right way to think about things like this, where it's like, everyone makes mistakes, even
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar production companies. Like, some small stuff can happen and it can still be okay.
Yeah.
There's no need to wig out. It's still
No,
Star
I have my
Wars. It's still
pitchfork
cool.
and torch ready, and I'm knocking on the gates of the Disney Palace.
Well, we're trying to talk you down off the ledge. we're trying.
Well, getting us into the episode, we start out on a planet. I believe it's Omila.
I think it's a Lega.
What is it?
Olega.
Olega. Thank you so much. I knew there was an L in there, but my autocorrect changed my notes to Omega.
Oh, I
So
got
I
We're
it.
kinda
done with
just
that.
took a shot
We're
there.
done with that. We're done with that. We're not going back. That door's ended.
Omega.
I really like the fact that there's a Jedi temple here that, they've scattered smaller Jedi temples throughout the galaxy. We kind of see this a little bit in Star Wars Rebels with the one that Kanan and Ezra go to, but I don't know. It just makes me really happy seeing some of these smaller temples.
Yeah,
This
and
temple's
it's
kind
it's
of a
always,
dump, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always been that way as far as really since additional Star Wars media outside of the movies has been coming out. The early Republic always had, I'll call them like outreach temples, where they're still official Jedi, but they actually are like, their job is to live in these other temples.
Places. Yeah.
And
For sure.
and like, also, I mean, we even see him later on in the movies. I mean, that's where Luke runs away to, is that old temple. So
Yeah.
The Jedi have their propaganda spreading arms everywhere.
that's exactly why I decided to call it outreach temples too.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
But then we also get to see our doorbell robot, but this one has 2 eyes instead of one.
Double doorbell. Double
Double
doorbell.
doorbell.
I love the Star Wars doorbell. It's my favorite thing. Anytime I see one, I'm always happy. And when I saw the double doorbell, I was like, what are the limits to this? I still want one put into my house. It'll happen one day.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I did.
For sure.
I did also hope that he would speak Huttese,
Yeah.
but it sounded like, I think he's just speaking like a messed up form of Basic.
Yeah.
Huttese would have been cool.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
I think they all speak Huttese. Like,
I
the
think
one in
so,
Jabba's
yeah.
palace
I hadn't
definitely
thought about
does.
it.
And I'm pretty sure the one in Mando does as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I wanted it to, but I mean, if that's the thing that if we let this show, like, ruin Star Wars for us based on, I think we've got some other problems. But
The doorbell has to speak Huttese.
It speaks
If
the
it
wrong
doesn't,
language.
I can't watch this anymore.
they're breaking the canon.
Just cancel my Disney Plus subscription just because of a doorbell.
Real. Well, I don't have anything till we see Master Torben.
Yeah. Whenever she first goes there.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about the Force shield?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, me
I
too.
didn't realize he was levitating until the second time we see Master Torben.
That's fair.
Oh, and that first attack?
Yeah, because I guess I was just really focused on how long the robe was. Or his, cloak.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it does
didn't-
hang down
and
quite a bit.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, what is he? I thought he was holding something, but it was his legs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was really confused until the second time we see him. I was like, what is he holding on to?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and actually, I kind of thought something similar. Like, luckily enough, I was eating while I was watching the first little bit of the episode last night. And so I saw that too. Like, I thought he was like standing and like maybe just like short or like crouched weird or something. Cause like there's a shadow next to his robes that like almost kind of looks like feet. And so I went back. My food had finished heating up. I went back in the living room, started watching it again. and that's when I noticed.
Yeah.
So it took me twice too.
I really liked this. I mean, we've seen people levitating before, but just some other information we find out about Torben throughout the episode is that he hasn't spoken to anyone in a really long time. He's sitting there clearly meditating. I like that they're focusing a little more on the monk aspect of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, I did too. But also with the vow that he took, I forget what it was called. Is it Prakash or something like that?
Yeah, the bearish vow.
Bearish vow, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was interesting because, like, honestly, based off of what May says later, I mean, I think that is why he took the Barash vow, is because he was trying to hide something and, like, trying to, like, deal with it before he would have to reap what he had sown.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you guys like some information on the bearish vow?
Sure.
Yes, Editor Mac, please enlighten us.
Yeah. So it was made by Jedi Master Barish, and it was named after her.
Nice.
And basically, instead of doing what Luke did in the sequels, where he cuts himself off completely from the Force, it's the opposite. You just cut yourself off from everything else but the Force.
Interesting. Okay.
So you're still considered a Jedi, but you do nothing for the Order.
Okay.
Besides, like, meditate and try to reach ultimate, like,
Enlightenment or whatever.
yeah.
Nice.
Basically.
Okay.
So is it based in shame?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's-
So most of the time it's because you did something wrong.
Yeah, I'm reading straight from Wikipedia here. It's a form of penance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
most
I guess
of the
that
Jedi that did it as a thing to atone for something that they did.
This is something I'm guessing that they pulled from the EU. Or maybe something that appeared in the High Republic, like the novels and comics.
Yeah. It says at the top there's two conflicting sources. One from the High Republic. Well, they're both from the High Republic, but for whatever reason it says they're conflicting. They're two different books, I guess, from the High Republic. One's called
Gotcha.
The Blade, and one is called Chronicles of the Jedi, so I don't know.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, are we ready to move on from this first attack?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did notice too. She does hit him with the "attack me with all your strength" line again.
Yes.
know.
Yep.
Which I was like, I mean, force field aside, just thought it was a goofy line. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say that every time. If she says it again, I'm also gonna be like, kind of silly. I'm kind of
My
done with
man's
that line.
literally flying. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, and also he's a Jedi Master. You know he's not going to. Why do you
Yeah.
keep saying it? Yeah.
Real.
So this originally appeared back in 2017 in a comic series, the Darth Vader comic series.
Oh, okay.
I actually have those. I've been reading them slowly, so
Nice.
I'll have to let
Yeah,
you guys
so-
know whenever I come across it.
It's one of Vader's, like, first missions. I believe it's to go get his crystal. He has to go kill an old Jedi Master named
Which-
Karak.
Which Vader comics
Oh,
are they?
yeah.
The ones from 2017. Star Wars, Darth Vader.
This is the
Oh, okay.
ones where we find out, I think originally the new, like,
Yes, the new canon version of making red crystals. They're no longer synthetics. You have to bleed them. Yes, that is definitely where that came from, I want to say. But yeah, it first appeared there. And then the next mention is in the High Republic novels. Or maybe it's the... what are the comic books that they classify as books? Graphic novels?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's those. You guys actually got me one whenever I was gone.
Look at that.
Man, we're such cool guys.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you guys are good guys. But at the end of the article, it says that it's yet to be stated in canon that it was named after her, the
Gotcha.
chick that I named originally. But I would say that it's canon now, because where else would they got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're using the same name, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's
Well-
probably pretty clear.
So moving us forward, I really like the costume design for the citizens of this planet. Just their culture, their style. I thought it was really unique, very visually stunning.
Yeah, yeah, and also they dress like you would expect people that live on a desert market planet to dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like their clothes were all like, you know, one color, relatively bland. Like they were all wearing like black, tan, gray, white, you know, those kind of colors. Also, I liked that all of their clothes looked somewhat homemade. I
Yeah.
thought that looked like quote unquote realistic, because if you live on a desert market planet, you probably can't just go buy new clothes. So
Yeah.
you probably make them. Yeah.
For sure. So what did you guys think of, I think his name is Kamir?
Yeah, Kamir.
Yeah.
I actually was a little bit confused about Kamir.
Oh, I have stuff like way before Kamir gets introduced.
Oh, okay. Well, give us the highlights, my friend. Go for it.
I still think death to Pip. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, there's a line in there. Pip gets offended, and I thought that was kind of funny. Let me look that up, whatever I said about it. 1 second.
Oh, is it the flexible line?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's like, well, I'm flexible, and then Pip's like, beep, 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 beep. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Pip's flexible, too.
Yeah, because she's talking about why she's better than the R2 or astromech droids.
Yeah, and it just, that kind of cracked me up. I was like, that's funny. I like Pip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I want Pip to die, but I kind of do.
Yeah,
Poor Pip.
and also he kind of reminds me of you remember I can't remember which Transformers movie it is, but whenever they come out with the microbots, you know, like
Oh, that's the Mark Wahlberg one.
He kind of reminded me of one of them, just like that he'd have something snarky to say, and then he's just a little like, just silly little guy. I like.
Oh,
him.
are
Yeah.
you talking about like the little RC car?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was still Shia LaBeouf.
yeah. The
that
one
might have been the first one with the Allspark.
I don't remember. I haven't seen those movies in forever.
No, that's. I think it's.
Don't
the
they turn a
second-
blender into one?
Which?
like,
What
it
are you
gets
talking
a-
about, Tuck? Are you talking about the little ones, or like?
Yeah, I'm talking about the little ones. They're little Transformers, but they like are alive with personalities.
You boys are alive with personalities.
Thank you, and so are you.
Thank you.
If anyone is listening to this podcast and is living, feel free to email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com.
Yeah, tell us all about the Transformers lore, please.
Yeah.
Mookie, what else do you have for us?
Is that the first time after that Indara calls, or not Indara, the green chick, whatever her name is?
Vernestra.
Yeah, is that after that? Is that the first time she calls Soul? Right after that, or did they go
Yeah.
to the poison place first?
I'm not entirely sure, but we can talk about the Vernestra conversation here. This is the one where she lets them know that there was an attempt on Torben's life, and that they agree OSHA is clearly not the assassin because she was in Soul's custody.
Yeah, they're aware. The council is aware that there's a twin,
Yeah.
and she's still talking about like, how do we get people not to, like, what do we do? Because now we can confirm there's a rogue assassin out there that's being taught in the Jedi arts.
Yeah.
What do we do about this? That a rogue assassin is out there in the galaxy and can use the Force. And how do we explain this to the general public? Or not even tell the general public? How do we keep from telling the general public?
Yeah.
And also
Insanity.
one thing I thought was kind of interesting too is like throughout the episode though, you can still tell that like nobody trusts OSHA still, even though like she's very clearly been exonerated.
Yeah. Real.
Like I mean, there's
Real.
no way it could be her. There's no way, but still like everyone's like, I don't know. OSHA looks a little shifty.
Yeah.
And then my next comment is directly after that. And I think it's before May goes back, before we meet Khmer, and Yord gets put in his place by Soul.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
I don't remember what they're talking about, but he gets put in his place.
Yord brings up the fact that May and Osha could be working together, and Soul tells him, do not be controlled by your fear, essentially.
Ah, thank you.
Which I was really expecting Yord to say something like, don't be controlled by your connection to your old Padawan, something like that. I feel like that would have been a reasonable argument, but I also appreciate that Yord just, hey, this guy's on top of me, he's telling me to back down, I'm backing down.
Right, because that would be out of character for who we've established Yord is. Like, he would never argue with a Jedi Master at this point.
Right. He's got to be the perfect Jedi. Yep.
And also, too, with Jedi as well, I mean, you're really not supposed to. I mean, because I know you've read Rise of the Red Blade as well, Mac. Like, I mean, like, if you challenge a Jedi Master, they'll punish you.
Well, you're
make
like
your life
immediately
not fun.
outcast.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Immediately outcast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not a winning game. Like, if a fellow Jedi challenges a Jedi Master, like, dude, they'll make you like hoe weeds in the garden or something, like for challenging them. I mean, they don't care. So,
Yeah, I think where that like whole thing stems from and people being confused about it is because we got.
You mean like Anakin and Obi-Wan?
Yeah, is because we got to see their relationship really heavily, and you're like, Anakin never listens to Obi-Wan.
Right.
Like,
but also
and he never gets punished.
But also Obi-Wan's an outlier in that he's very patient. And then also too, it's a special circumstance because it's Anakin. So like, what are you gonna punish who everyone thinks is the chosen one?
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't really do that. Like, I mean, he was a golden boy from the start.
Yeah. So you guys know how we always talk about, like, whenever we think about Star Wars and as fans, you're always like, I'd be a Jedi or I'd be a Sith or whatever. And but deep down, you know you would never be a Jedi or Sith. Like, you could never be that cool. I'm glad that this show gave us Khmer, because I finally found who I would be in the Star Wars universe.
Just the poison man.
Because we meet Khmer, and she's like, goes in the poison shop. This dude is passed out in the back, and she's like, bro, what are you doing? And the shop is like actually like a liquor joint or something.
Yeah.
But he like makes poisons in there or whatever. Dude is like passed out from drinking all the liquor in the shop the night before, and I was like, finally, I found my character.
Yeah. Have you guys watched The Good Place?
No.
Okay, I definitely recommend it. I actually just finished my second rewatch a couple days ago, and Khmer's played by the same guy who plays Jason. So this is more, I guess, for our audience. If you've watched The Good Place, I cannot take Khmer seriously because he's using the same voice he uses for Jason. And for my co-hosts, Jason is a man who he's a Florida man who died trying to rob a bank by going in a vault. Like, he got in a vault, his friend closed the vault, and his friend tried to take the vault in and say, hey, I need to install this. And their plan was Jason would then come out in the middle of the night, rob the bank, go back into the vault. He suffocated to death.
Yeah.
Jason is not a smart man.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, but I really like Khmer as a character. Visually, he looks very different from Jason. It's just the voice. But I think he was the perfect casting for this character.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he did a good job, too. Also, that just kind of, that trope of a poison specialist that may have even tried their own supply at one point, and it made him a little nutty. Almost kind of like a Mad Hatter kind of character.
Yeah.
And I like that. I mean, I thought that's kind of the vibes I got from him. Is that, like, he's a helper and he knows what he's doing, but also he's a little shifty. He's a little strange.
Yeah, and it seems like he's really in the know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because, like, whenever she first walked in there, I was like, oh, he's just some dude. Oh, wait, like May's not alone. Oh wait, he's a friend. Okay. Oh wait, he works for the bad guy too.
Yeah.
Or like he at least knows all the details. Like this is kind of strange.
She's supposed to kill one, like with her bare hands, I guess.
Yeah.
Her bare hands.
But also,
like she had regular hands to me.
You got me.
You know, it's just kind of, and also how he calls them the master, like it's their same master.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of have the theory that he works for him too.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I do have one more note here. Did you guys see the hand, the like floating hand in a jar with like an eyeball on it, and it just kind of was like moving? It's very gross. I didn't like it.
Is that what that creature was in the back?
I think so, yeah.
It's like in that really big glass tank looking thing?
Yeah, it almost looked like a swollen hand.
I thought it was like a
horrifying.
plant.
Hey, it might have been, but it freaked me out.
Yeah, it was weird. I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any notes until her next attempt on Torben's life. Do you guys have anything in between those?
Then we get Sol and Osha talking again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And now until the end of time, Sol will just be Papa Sol to me.
Yeah. He's giving real dad energy, and I love it.
Yeah, because he comes in and he's like, "What's that?" And she's like, "What?" He's like,
"Oh, the tattoo."
Yeah, he's like, "That," and she's like, "Oh, I got this on whatever planet with my friends after a crazy night out," and he just like doesn't say anything after that.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, "What, you don't like it?" And he was like, "It doesn't matter what I like." Like he says it like he said it a million times. Like he said it like kind of defeated.
Yeah, it's like anytime I come home or like go back to Texas and I see my grandma and she like sees that I've acquired more tattoos since last time I've seen her, and I'm like, "What do you think about my new tattoos?" And she's like, "You're gonna do to your body what you want." And I'm like, "Okay, fair enough."
Yeah.
All right. Love you too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, at that point he was Papa Sol. And then a little bit more into that conversation, this is like the first time we've ever actually seen a master talk about how they could be flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "I tried to teach you that lesson so many times," and she says that you tried to teach me that lesson so many times. And she was like, I wasn't a very good student or whatever. And he was like, "Maybe I wasn't a very good master."
Yeah.
And just walks out of the room. And I was like, has a Jedi Master actually admitted to being flawed?
I'd say Obi-Wan does, but that's also after the Jedi Order's done.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't really count.
Yeah. Sol is definitely becoming one of my favorite Jedi.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
For sure. He's giving out good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are we ready to move on to the assassination attempt, or do you guys have anything else?
No, because that's whenever they meet back up at the local temple, and I guess he's like the Jedi in charge there, the white dude with the blue lightsaber. Yeah. He's like, "I'll take you to Master Torben." And,
right, and they
like,
start heading that way.
Yeah, he's
but
like,
it's
he's
while
not gonna
May's
talk
inside.
Yeah. He's
it's like same
Torben's
time.
not going to talk to anybody. He took the bearish vow, and that's whenever I wrote down, what is the bearish vow?
Right.
And looked it up and everything.
I did find it really interesting. They did find the girl from the beginning of the episode that talked to the two-eyed doorbell droid, and she points out Osha and says, "Yeah, that girl paid me." Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that scene, but at the same time, I kind of felt like the two Temple Jedi had no reaction to, "Oh, this is the assassin." Obviously the other Jedi would have said, "No, this isn't her, they're twins, blah, 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 whatever." But I would have liked just a little bit of a reaction there.
Yeah, I think I missed that part while I was typing about the bearish vow. My weird thing was how that Padawan was treating the kid.
The one guy who grabbed her?
Yeah. He was like talking real out of pocket for a Padawan.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Where it was kind of weird, but maybe that's supposed to show you like these aren't Padawans from Coruscant. These are Padawans from this backwater planet that, well, they may not be from there, but, they have spent most of their formative years there instead of in Coruscant at the Grand Temple. And
they're not as regal, sophisticated, polite.
Yeah, because even that dude mentions whenever they all pop up at the temple, he's like, oh, why is Coruscant here? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, they're your small town cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the state police, or actually better yet, the FBI shows up in a small, Midwest town, and they're like, FBI, what are you guys doing here?
In our little town?
Yeah.
Okay, so the assassination, I actually really liked how this played out. I wasn't sure how she was going to get this poison to him, but just the fact that she's like, hey, I'm offering you a way out, and he comes down. Does he apologize? I can't remember. I know he says something to May.
I think he says, forgive me.
Yeah, and then he drinks the poison willingly. I don't know.
Oh, he says, forgive me. Forgive me. We thought we were doing a good thing.
Yes. So I'm very curious, like, what bad thing did these Jedis do that makes him literally kill himself?
Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Go with your theory first, buddy.
So I was under the I was also under that impression too. Like, what on earth did they do? Like, what exactly happened? But I have a feeling that it's actually just based on what happened to May and Osha. Like, I think we thought we were doing a good thing means that, like, he, as well as the other 3 Jedi that were there, know for a fact that they were forced into a situation where they had to choose between Osha and May, that they could only take one, and they just grabbed Osha and left, and they left May for dead as a little girl.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think that they, like, did.
Yeah,
But also maybe there's something more heinous involved, but I think that that's probably what happened.
Yeah, I got my tinfoil hat theory going here. So, I've been thinking about this since episode 1. Because I think even in episode 1, they mention that the knowledge that May started the fire to kill everybody on their home planet, I think that was in episode 1. And it gets mentioned again in episode 2. So I think the reason why May is hunting down these 4 Jedi that were all stationed on their home planet, I think what's going to happen is we're going to get another Force vision. Or not a Force vision, maybe a flashback to the incident happening. Probably, like, is there 10 episodes in this series?
I think 8, yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying, like, episode, like, the last 3, like 5 through 8, right? We're going to get a flashback to their home planet. We're going to see all 4 of the Jedi that were stationed there. They know that May started the fire, right? They're in a situation where, like Tuck said, like, Osha and May are trapped in, like, a burning building or something, right? But they know that May started the fire. They're going to sense the darkness in May, save Osha, and leave May and leave May to die. And that is why Torben took the bearish vow.
Okay.
And that's why...
Interesting.
Because was Vern there as well? No, it was Indara. It was Indara... the Wookiee, Torben, and Sol.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I think I fully support that theory. I mean, because just thinking about it, like, I don't know if to a Jedi with their opinions on attachments and such, that just leaving a kid behind would be enough to take the bearish vow.
Yeah.
There must be, like, an element of, like, vengefulness or hatred or, like, something messed up, and, like, messed up enough to where he had many a sleepless night before he decided to take the vow.
Yeah. They fully did the baby Hitler theory.
Yep. Yeah, yep. and they knew what and the fact is too that they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy, like, this mystery that they're giving us, because clearly somebody is an unreliable narrator, and we don't know who it is yet. We have Osha and Sol who blame May. And then we have May and Torben who are blaming the Jedi for what happened. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, well, and that's one thing too. Again, why I have more hope after watching episode 2 is they're really starting to get into the plot, and it's starting to become more so of what I was expecting and hoping for, and that's a whodunit.
Yeah,
and like
sure.
whose fault really is it that all these things happened?
Yeah.
And I'm actually genuinely excited to see what happens with the plot.
Yeah. So we have our team of Jedi, our FBI and local cops coming to check on Torben, and we see Osha gets a vision of May, and Osha cuts off a different direction, and Yord follows her.
I have something about that later, about the Force visions.
Gotcha. I really liked how this played out. I was very nervous for Osha when she found the body. I was like, of course, this is how it happens.
Right?
She's going to get framed again. And it was our boy Yord to stick up for her, and I really liked how that turned out.
Yeah.
I have a thing here, though, is I don't know if maybe it's just a time period, but it feels like besides Soul, the Jedi in this series pull out their lightsabers for literally anything. Because that dude that has, like, escorted them from the gate into the temple, like, he sees Osha there and he's not like, stop or anything else. Well, he does say, like, stay there or whatever, but immediately pulls out his lightsaber and points it at her and then starts giving her commands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually, like, just in a grand story point here, like, I think that that's actually more realistic to how they were, because if you think about it, you know, they haven't been doing anything for the past, like, close to 1,000 years other than investigating stuff like this, occasionally drawing your lightsaber to fight some bandits or whatever. Like, most of them just been training for this kind of thing. I think in some ways they're overtrained.
Yeah.
And they, you know, and so just their first instinct is to just draw their lightsaber. Like, they just don't, I mean, they know that they're peacekeepers, but that's just the first thing they do, because I think that's all they know how to do, because they're kind of bored. I guess what I'm getting at is I think they're kind of bored at this point in time.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. Well, Sick, do we have anything else here?
No. Not until they start making their plan.
Yeah, when they find Kamir, and the one Padawan's like, yeah, that's not our guy. That's not who's usually there.
Yeah, I think I meant to say it last time, but there was a really good shot of Soul, I guess, when they're starting to decide the plan.
Yeah.
And there's just a really good shot of Soul's gloves.
Yeah.
That he wears. Dude, his gloves are sick.
Nice. I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. Tell us more.
Well, they're like leather gloves. Which, have you noticed how they wear leather gloves too? Like, Yord wears them. And his are just like basic leather gloves. But Soul's are leather, but they have like metal plating on top. And they have like this really cool design on them. But it's like not flashy, but it's, I don't know, it just looks cool.
Yeah.
And then Yord starts giving his plan, and I just wrote down Yord and his dumbass ideas again.
Thinks he knows everything.
Okay.
Nah,
Wait, are you a Yord supporter?
No.
You have to tell us.
I have my pitchfork and my torch right here, sir.
No.
You have to
but
tell
I
us.
don't hate Yord as much as you guys.
It's not that
I'm
I
neutral
hate
on Yord.
I think we're
supposed to hate Yord.
Yes, I think the majority of fans are supposed to hate Yord. So they're doing a great job, because every time this dude opens his mouth, I'm just like, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he's written very well, but at the same time, I don't like him.
That's fair.
But I don't think I'm supposed to.
I really like the fact that at least Yord, and I would assume other High Republic Jedi, have blasters that at least have stun capabilities.
Why is that? Like, what makes you think that? I'm just curious.
Oh, because he literally pulls out a blaster and gives it to OSHA.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like thinking all of them do. I was just asking.
Oh, I don't know. I think that makes sense as a keeper of the peace that you would have a non-lethal option.
Yeah.
I can believe it. Yeah.
And
Soul says something about it too. Whenever.
He's like, you know how to use this.
Yeah. Yord says his dumbass plan, and then the Padawan comes up with her good idea of, sending OSHA in there because she looks like May and everything. And Yord's like, dude, she was a Jedi. Like, she knows how to use this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it might have a lethal function like, most blasters do, but I could definitely see this as a stun-only weapon.
I think it is. I think he actually like calls it a stun blaster. Like, that's all it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just the Star Wars equivalent of like a taser?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's interesting.
If you guys are ready to move forward, the Padawan's plan turns out perfectly. Kamir pretty much spills his guts as soon as OSHA walks in.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, dude, Kumir sells May out so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also too, did you see the point when he realizes that it's not May?
Yeah.
I think he knew it was May the whole time. Or that it wasn't May the whole time. I think he was playing the game a little bit.
I'm interested in that, but the only thing I was gonna say is you can actually like see it in his eyes as he's getting closer. She says thank you, and then there's like a look of surprise on his face. Like, wait a second, May would never say thank you to me.
May doesn't say nice things.
And then he was like,
mean
and then
to
that's
me.
what, and then his line right after that is, "You do look just like her."
Yeah.
I was like, But Mac, you go ahead. As far as you think he knew the whole time.
Yeah, because she walks into the shop and everything, and you can like see the look on her face, and because we've seen the way that May interacts with him,
yeah,
and the way that she interacts with him, we know as the viewers that this is not the correct way that these characters, interact with each other.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets up and everything, and he's very like aloof. Like, he's staying in the back of the room at the beginning of the conversation. And I think when he knew was, she walks in and she just says hi. And he's like, hi. And then she says hi again.
Yeah.
Like,
it was very awkward.
Like, she's waiting for him to admit guilt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, I know the game here. And so he like starts saying everything. But I do like whenever they all corner him in the shop and everything, we get a quick hut mention.
Yeah.
Of how he says he started out
them.
running guns for the huts until he became like a poison guy.
Slinging guns.
Yeah. Something he says like during his reveal is he specifically says he will be pleased, or he will be pleased with you. I can't remember exactly what it was, but just another little check in the Jedi find out that there's the Sith are back and end up hiding it in the long run box.
Yeah. But also, she's not a Jedi. We don't know that she returns to the Jedi.
No, not OSHA, May. He tells OSHA when she's pretending to be May, he will be pleased with you, indicating that there's someone above her.
Right, that there's someone orchestrating the events.
Right, yeah. No, I'm just saying, but we don't know for sure that the Jedi learned that because May doesn't necessarily say anything, and then also she's not necessarily a Jedi. So
right,
we don't know that the Jedi know that, is what I'm saying.
They hear that conversation when they're listening in.
Oh, I gotcha.
Sol mentions it whenever they come
because that's
in.
when he's like, like he was having them wait, and then he says that he's like, oh, okay, now we go.
Now let's go. Right,
Yeah,
right.
okay,
And then
I gotcha.
They do question him about it later, but he makes a joke. He's like, he jokes as if he was referring to Yord, and then the Jedi just drop it, which I thought was a little weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was very smart on Kamir's part to play dumb, to change the focus, but it was very dumb on the Jedi to just like drop that subject completely.
Well, I think Sol knew he wasn't going to get any farther with that. Because then the priority was getting to May as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, again, just Kamir's brilliance. And with a time-sensitive thing like this, it's best to stall and make them choose
Yeah.
what exactly they want to come after.
Yeah. I also really liked that he says, please don't do the memory wipe stuff or whatever you do.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good line.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I don't really have many notes left, boys. Do we have anything else here before we move forward?
There's a conversation that Sol and Osha have before May enters the chat.
Oh, and also the one that I think this is roughly where Sol and Vernestra have their second conversation. Oh, wait, no, that's after May escapes. Yeah. Well, I'm ready to talk about Sol and May's encounter if you guys are.
Yeah, I am too. And this is where I had a thing I don't like about the show.
Go ahead.
I don't know why, but Sol's choreography was working for me. I liked his movements. I liked what he was doing. It seemed natural for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
May's choreography looked like ass to me.
Yeah, but also I would argue that in this scene it's on purpose. I think it's to show their vast difference in skill level.
Yeah, I agree with Tucker.
So that's what I like. I knew that was the in-universe reason for why she couldn't attack him or anything. But I meant, like, it obviously looked like she was on a wire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and also, too, if you're trying to illustrate, like, an unskilled person with a skilled person, like, why didn't you have her, like, you know, try to haul off and throw a punch or something that, like, an inexperienced person would actually try to do?
Yeah,
I get that she's very acrobatic and everything, and that kind of builds the whole, like, assassin type motif.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it didn't look good visually, in my opinion.
yeah,
that's fair.
Like, it looked like that scene in which Austin Powers is it? I can't remember which Austin Powers it is, but it's the one where Fat Bastard is a sumo wrestler in Japan.
Oh yeah,
And he does all
third movie.
He does all the flips in the, like, bathhouse, like, locker room type deal, and then he gets stuck halfway, and they like show the wires and everything, and he's like, "Come on, guys!"
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looked like to me. Was it like
That's
she
fair.
was? It just looked like she was on a wire, and I get that everything can't be perfect, but I think of, like, the force jumps in episode 1. They don't look that bad. They're
Right,
very
and
quick, and we don't see the full thing.
Yeah.
But
also that was nearly 25 years ago,
yeah,
which is and I do agree that it looked better.
yeah.
And so, like, but surely in 25 years we could do better.
well,
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
agree.
in episode 1 when we had Indara jumping around the room, and it didn't look right.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to do like a slow-mo thing.
Yeah.
But it's not working for me.
It's like an Uncanny Valley type deal where it's like too real.
The
It's like,
Indara
weird.
actress, she was the actress from The Matrix, right?
yes, I think so.
I could totally see, like, whoever did the choreography for that episode just being really excited to be working with her and, like, wanted to pull some inspiration from The Matrix. I've kind of been thinking about that a little bit since we recorded last time.
That's interesting.
Not necessarily that it was the right choice, but I definitely see the inspiration there.
Yeah.
During this whole scene, I don't know exactly where it happens, but we do have Yord give us the "I have a bad feeling about this" line.
Yeah, I was gonna write it down, but I knew it was gonna be mentioned, so I didn't even write it down.
I got you.
At least it's not a BB-8.
At least, yes, I completely agree. I was very excited about it, but I was sitting there, I was like, Mac's going to be so mad that it was Yord who gave this line.
I think initially I was like, why is Yord saying this?
That's
Like, why does it have to be Yord? Why can't it
Yeah.
be the Padawan that we still haven't figured out what her name is? names.
They
Yeah.
say it in the episode, but I forgot her name.
I have to. I know Yord and Sol, and then I very clearly get Osha and May confused.
I don't know why. They look nothing alike.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
would I do that? It's not like they're twins or something.
So, has anybody done any research? Are they doing like a Parent Trap thing where it's both Lindsay Lohan?
Oh, I don't know, but I can find out.
I feel like they did that.
Oh, you mean as far as the actress that it's
Yeah,
not
is
a
she-
literal set of twins. It's
Yeah.
it's one actress playing both parts.
Yeah, it's one actress.
Good for her, man, because she plays Osha
Yeah.
and May very well. And
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
they're
like,
also they're clearly separate. Like you can tell
Yeah.
the difference. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it would be difficult to do that. I
It is
couldn't
difficult.
imagine playing
Yeah.
two different people but being the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, that's very tough.
And I mean, like, some actors can't handle having to split their personality that hard. Like, you think of I think the best example in like today's film would probably be is it James McAvoy? Is that how you say his name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
in
good.
Split.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
I
he has
think
like
he-
21 different characters.
Yeah, I mean, we only see, I think, 5 or 6 of them. Mm-hmm. I don't ever think we see the full
The full
18
set.
or 20
Yeah.
personalities. But I mean, besides him, I don't think of anybody that can display multiple characters.
So well, yeah.
So it's got to be a challenge to do that. So good
Yeah,
for her.
sure. And I'm very curious how it'll all play out when, obviously we're gonna get them reuniting at some point. I'm excited to see how that all plays out. Also, so it is the same actress for adult May and Osha. It is for their young versions. It is separate actresses, but they are sisters.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
So moving forward, Yord steps in to help corner May. Padawan in the ship, they've got the helicopter light down on her. And I wrote down pocket sand.
Oh my gosh. So right before Pocket Sand, because I have Pocket Sand too. I'm not even joking. I wrote down the same thing. Is right before that, Ocha has another force vision of young May.
I'm so sorry. I don't remember this at all. Tell me everything.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just she has another force vision of. That's how she gets down the alleyway that leads into right after Pocket Sand of them seeing each other.
Oh, I have a note here too. Not the same note, but yeah, tell us more about it.
So this is where I started wondering about how force visions work exactly
Yeah.
in this canon, because she has the force vision of young May leading her down this alleyway so that they can eventually see each other whenever May
Yeah.
makes her escape after Pocket Sand.
Yeah.
Well, it's right before Pocket Sand. Sol tells May that Osha's alive, and then Yord steps in to confirm
Yeah.
that Osha is alive.
Right,
And
right.
You can tell that May does not know. Like, with her
Yeah.
whole heart, she thought Osha was dead,
Right. Right.
which set me down this whole path. Like, how do force visions work? Like, it's obviously she's not seeing May. May is not doing this. May's not putting visions in her head.
Right. Right.
It is the will of the Force working things out so these two characters can meet.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and actually I thought it was interesting too. She calls her Oshi,
Oh yeah, yeah, she does.
so they had like little childhood nicknames for each other.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Whenever they do finally meet in the alleyway. I just can't believe we both wrote down Pocket Sand.
Same. I'm so sorry. Before we get there, I did have a technical note. Osha is in this hallway. It cuts to her, and we see a Jedi, I'm guessing one of the local cops, walking towards her. It cuts to a different angle. It cuts back to her, and the Jedi's gone, and then we see him start walking towards her again. Just a very minor technical editing mistake that I caught.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nothing major, but it did pull me out of the moment just a little bit.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's one of those things where since Mac or I have like no experience with that, we just probably were like, oh yeah, it looks fine.
Oh yeah, getting a film degree I think just was the wrong decision in general because one, I barely used it. Two, it's ruined watching movies for me.
I think I did. I was, taking notes at the same time too. I think because wasn't it the Padawan or something in the background, or was it the white guy?
I thought it was the white guy. Whoever it was had their hood up, so it kind of blocked their face. And the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is kind of ominous." Why? Like, I felt like they were specifically like wanting us to focus on this Jedi, and then it cuts back to it. The Jedi's gone, so clearly it was just a background action that they had someone doing.
Yeah,
Editor Mac is on the case. Don't worry, boys.
Okay. So yes, moving forward, Pocket Sand. I did like how this played out. I really did. I was looking at it and I was like, she's just gonna reach down, grab some sand, and throw it in Soul's face. So I was pleasantly surprised when she used the Force to blow it and create a smoke screen. Tukey, what did you have any thoughts here?
not really. I mean, I thought that the whole pocket sand thing, I liked it. I mean, I thought that the using the Force to throw sand in everyone's eyes, it was a smart move, but also it looked cool. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so just moving forward, we have a couple other scenes here. We have May confront Kamir, and she's pissed about him selling her out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to ask before that. Sorry, I'm trying to watch and talk at the same time.
No, that's okay.
Do you guys think that she missed on purpose?
Yes.
I thought she was just overcome with emotion
Oh, that could be it too.
and missed on accident.
I think her first shot, she missed on accident. Well, I don't know. I'm watching the scene again, and the look on her face, she might have missed that one on purpose, is like, you better get out of here or something. And then I think the second one, she was actually trying to shoot her. Or make it look like she was trying to shoot her because Saul comes up right behind her. Okay, so I just saw the Jedi. It's Yord. Yord comes up behind her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that she was just so overcome with emotion that she couldn't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely could be. Especially both of them thinking the other one was dead for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. And then we get another call from Vern.
Yeah, and this, I really like what they're doing. They're showing the cracks in the Jedi because they know exactly where the assassin's going, and Vernestra's like, actually, no, don't go defend that Jedi. Why don't you come and let's have a long, boring discussion about it with the Council.
Yep. I wrote down blocked by the Council again.
And it even a main one. She literally said, she's like, I put together a little council to discuss this.
Whatever. Not whatever to you, Elijah. Whatever to the Jedi, by the way.
Yeah. Take that, Jedi. You're a bunch of sticky, poopy babies.
Whatever, you poopy baby men.
Yeah.
Women.
Okay. We've got the Kamir and Osha scene. Do you guys have anything here?
I think Kamir, I think that's why he sold her out so quickly, was so that the Jedi would leave him alone.
That's fair.
So that he would have time to build up an escape plan. Because we don't know Kamir's level in this hierarchy yet. We know he's involved with the Master and everything. We can kind of assume that May is like the top dog of the Acolytes.
Yeah.
Well, whatever this organization is.
Yeah.
May's directly under the Master, right? We know that Kamir is involved in some way. And so I think he builds up this escape route because he knows that May knows that she sold him out.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to save his own skin, and that's why he procures an escape plan so quickly, because he seems like that guy that's like, I've got to figure out a way to save myself somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also if he's enough of a worm, he he probably always had an escape plan. Always had 3 or 4 of them, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As far as like who he betrayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, characters like that always have a route.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, he's a worm.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing.
And then we move to Kofar, where we see our first live action Wookiee Jedi.
Yep. Actually, wait. No, we do get a live action before that.
Oh, we do?
The holiday special. We get Lumpy. He becomes a Jedi. In the
books. In the books.
Good old Jedi Lumpy.
Good old Lumpa-Rump at it again.
Hey, you got me. You got me there. Real.
Yeah,
Fact check.
I think the Wookiee, I don't even think he's part of the Order anymore. I think he's isolated
like
himself
he
to
left.
this planet.
Yeah, probably because of the same reason that I want to say Torbjorn, but that's Overwatch.
Torben.
What's his face?
Torben.
Torben. Probably the same reason that Torben took that vow.
I can believe it.
Yeah, my only note here is Wookiee Shrek.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing in my swamp?
I mean, he's hiding in the bushes waiting for people to encroach on his private land. He's got signs up that say "Stay out, ogre." Mm-hmm. He's Wookiee Shrek.
Yeah, and then they do pull a gun on him, and he just like force pulls it and just rips it apart.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, when the credits rolled, I literally was like, "Wait, that's it? That's the end?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought it's a good note. I enjoy when that happens in a series. I was so enthralled in it that I didn't see the ending coming. I wasn't just sitting there like, "Oh, when is this going to be over?"
Yeah, well, and that was when I really started to realize that I think I've got some hope for this show, because I felt the same way.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted more Wookiee Shrek.
I did too.
Well, boys, anything else before we end the episode?
Not that I can think of.
Dope. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, this is animalsquadron@gmail.com. And if you could leave us a review wherever you're listening, that would help out a ton. For the Animal Squadron, this has been MotherGoose.
HouseDog.
And Lowtech Tuck.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Wookiee Shrek. Get out of my swamp.